Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out something called Parasomnia by developer Catalep. This is a very early version of a game that was designed for the Unreal Engine October Game Jam. So this was designed in Unreal Engine 4. It's a first-person labyrinth exploration game with a little bit of a surreal and esoteric, bizarre atmosphere, and an atmosphere that I very, very much appreciate. This is the same developer who also did Sing Me to Sleep, and I did a preview video of that a while ago. Still very much looking forward to playing some more of that. I only mention it because the atmosphere feels like it carries over a little bit from that game to this game. Similar sense of just big, scary, stoic, obtuse everything. I don't really know exactly what to call it, but it's the exact type of sensibility that I like, and I think it works really well rendered in this level of detail, and it's a very pretty game. So I should mention before we get started, as you can see by this somewhat strobing effect going on the screen that I'm not even sure how to describe, it looks a little bit like the Diablo 3 logo or something in purplish lavender. Be aware this does have a little bit of an epilepsy warning going on this episode, so if you have any issues with photosensitivity, perhaps avoid this one. It's not going to be flashing as much as this same sort of strobing, and it'll pick up a little bit as we go in further. It's going to be a very short episode, but, it is definitely on the spooky side, atmospheric, and very cool. So I figured it'd be good to cover since we're still in the middle of spooky October, Spooktober as it were. So, as I get started here, I just want to mention, again, this is not finished, so be aware there will be more features added. Right now, we're just going to be wandering the maze by ourselves, but as things progress, there will also be something else chasing us, and also the maze is going to start rearranging itself dynamically and become a procedural labyrinth, so every time you play it, you're going to get a somewhat different experience. So as we wander from the blackness of space into the actual labyrinth proper, you'll notice we can't see anything except for certain flashing lights that are going to stay on the screen for more than a moment. What even is that right there? Is there just like, there's a rectangle with just a beautiful fluorescent neon light at the end of it? Okay. Well, that helps me a little bit. It's nice to know that there's a few key points of interest that I can keep my eyes on in case I lose my bearings, and I will. Look at all the effects going on there. There's like this RGB chromatic aberration. There's like a million levels of blurring and diffusion and lens flares and reflections. It's all really, really pretty. It's really easy to create something fantastic looking and monolithic and wild just out of all of the effects that you can put together. I don't even know what we're looking at here. It seems to be some sort of a triangle with triangles inside of other triangles turning in circles, and for some reason I find this a little bit terrifying. I don't really know why. It's one of those things that doesn't quite make sense. I also like that the description the developer gives in this as far as like how to place the location of this maze, the developer describes it as a hypnagogic twilight between sleep and waking. So, like, yeah, that's some heavy stuff. So I can't really see where I'm going at all, as you can tell. And the strobing is actually picking up in frequency now. And that's telling me that maybe I'm going in the right direction. I'm not entirely sure. But it's also setting a tempo that is also quite terrifying, too. What am I building to? Where am I going? What's happening? Why is the speed picking up in frequency so fast? Am I getting away from the goal? Is it slowing down? Because this is clearly the tempo is mirroring. Oh, there's some sort of weird Tesseract thing going on over there. It's supposed to probably be mirroring our heart rate as we wander about. What is that? I love that I can't even tell what I'm looking at most of the time. Like, the depth and the structures don't even make sense because I can't really trust what I'm looking at through my eyes as, like, to actually be things that are represented by anything, because the geometry just is impossible. And not only can I not really trust depth or space or anything like that, it's also the fact that I can't even see for more than a few moments at a time. That is awesome. This is actually kind of the same effect that I saw in Sing Me to Sleep. I wonder if these are sort of reused bits of geometry. No problem if they are. They're very cool looking, and I'd love to look at them more. Look how neat that is. Freaking turns into a disc and then flips apart and then turns into another disc. It's basically the thing that powered the spaceship in Event Horizon. Probably turns into a portal to hell. I don't know. That would be a very Halloween-y thing to do. Should probably start emitting crazy lights out of these shapes that you can see from various points in the maze, and then eventually demons will start walking out of them and chasing me around. I'm probably getting further away. Oh, this is probably like... Oh, this is a dead end for sure. Now, the idea that I saw in the developer's page here, it seemed like what was going to be the case is that as we get further into this and the labyrinth starts rearranging over and over again, we're going to end up in a position where we can actually lose. And I don't know what losing entails exactly, but it sounds like, you know, we'll get trapped at an endpoint, and I think we're about to be right now, actually. Don't look back. Alright, well, what's my other opportunity to do anything? Can I walk forward? Can I walk off this precipice? No, it's not a thing I can do. Alright, so, I'll just not look back and walk backward. How's that work? Can we do that? I know I had... Oh. I didn't look back. I still get punished for it anyway. So what I was thinking is, like, it's going to be kind of frustrating if the flashing continues and also you can get cornered into, you know, an end point, into a dead end where you're just going to lose the game, right? I'd rather that wasn't so much a thing. I really like the idea of a procedurally generated labyrinth, but it does need to have enough focal points and enough landmarks that you should be able to at least somewhat have a good telegraphed opportunity to avoid instant death, because it is kind of frustrating playing any kind of game where you just die for basically no reason or can't prevent it of your own volition. I'd prefer that not be a thing. And, you know, the strobing it's definitely cool for setting the atmosphere, but I'm kind of surprised that it's even necessary, because honestly, the atmosphere is really tense without it. Maybe if it was, like, much slower of a strobe, like, only happens every so often, but then again, you might not even be able to tell the tempo at that point, so it's not really an easy thing to balance, but I do trust a Catalep to be able to figure that stuff out as things go forward. So I guess that's kind of where we're going to end up with this one. Parasomnia, very, very cool little preview. Definitely looking forward to seeing if this goes somewhere. We'll be following this one in the future, so if there are updates, I'll definitely be interested in looking at it again. And if it ever does turn into something, for sure, I would definitely put some money towards this, no doubt. But that's going to be it today. Very short episode, I know, but very cool one nonetheless, I thought, anyway. If you'd like to go check this out yourself, the download is actually not that huge. I think it says 73 megs here, so if you want to download it, feel free. You can test out some of these sweet Unreal Engine 4 visuals, and tell me how they go on your system. I'm always curious, actually, to know if this runs really smoothly for everybody on, you know, various types of computers. So if you want to weigh in, I'd be curious to know. I don't really have the, you know, kind of low end of the specs right now, so I'm kind of curious to know how this engine scales as it goes with the older stuff. Anyway, link's going to be in the description. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it, and be sure to come back again tomorrow. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day, no doubt. There will be another one tomorrow for Halloween. Hope you have a fantastic night, and thank you, everybody, for watching. Talk to you later.